It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Every relationship, every alliance, every conversation you engage in is a battlefield where loyalty is tested and the slightest misstep can expose weakness. The enemy does not always carry a sword. Sometimes betrayal arrives wrapped in familiarity, disguised as friendship or trust. Awareness is your first weapon. You must see the battlefield not as others present it, but as it truly exists, with hidden threats lurking behind every gesture, every word, every smile. Every smile can be a chess move. A nod, a compliment, a casual laugh, all can hide intentions that, if ignored, become lethal. Leaders throughout history who failed to interpret these subtleties were often toppled by those they trusted most. Recognize that gestures carry layers of meaning. Observe patterns, inconsistencies, and shifts in tone. A colleague who suddenly distances themselves after seeming supportive may not be negligent. They may be calculating their next move. Do not react impulsively. Instead, record these shifts in perception and measure them against history, psychology, and human behavior to determine if loyalty is genuine. The cost of ignorance is enormous. When Caesar ignored warnings from the soothsayer, when Brutus and Cassius approached him under the guise of friendship, the consequences were fatal. Betrayal often does not announce itself with loud cries. It whispers through inattention, opportunism, and subtle sabotage. Each failure to notice the signs increases vulnerability. In your own life, small betrayals, someone taking credit, undermining subtly, spreading half-truths, can accumulate and erode your influence, authority, and confidence. Recognize these early. Set boundaries. Intervene quietly but decisively. Do not allow passive observation to become complicated. Your mind is the first battlefield. Before confronting external treachery, you must control your inner reactions. Anxiety, suspicion, or unchecked emotion allows betrayal to gain leverage. Master perception through observation, reflection, and disciplined thought. Anticipate moves by understanding motives, incentives, and pressures shaping behavior. Maintain composure under subtle attacks. For instance, when a teammate publicly questions a decision, respond with calm clarity, demonstrating command without aggression. Your steadiness signals strength and alerts observers that loyalty must be earned, not assumed. Command your awareness. Map intentions like a general surveying terrain. Record details like a strategist, preparing for engagement. Your throne is your mind. Protect it as you would a citadel under siege. Test, observe, and never assume loyalty is absolute. Those who rely on convenience or charm without scrutiny often discover too late that they have been undermined. Translate subtle cues into actionable insight. Convert perception into preemptive strategy. Let your decisions be deliberate, measured, and guided by clarity rather than reaction. The battle is silent but real. Every interaction contains hidden vectors of allegiance and treachery. Approach each with the rigor of a general and the patience of a predator. Prioritize observation over assumption, analysis over impulse. Every micro-expression, every hesitation, every choice of words is data. Process it with the precision of a chess master, anticipating moves several steps ahead. Control your inner domain first. External mastery follows naturally. Those who understand this principle gain the power to navigate relationships safely, to protect influence, and to command respect without unnecessary confrontation. Remain vigilant, calm, and discerning. Let awareness guide your actions and prudence govern your trust. Recognize the hidden blades before they strike. Train your mind to see through appearances, interpret gestures, and anticipate deception. Do not fear betrayal. but respect it as an inevitable part of human interaction that must be managed with strategy and discipline. Let every encounter strengthen your throne rather than threaten it. Stand immovable in thought, decisive in action, and deliberate in judgment. Your mind commands, betrayal falls. It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Your mind is a throne, a fortified citadel, where loyalty must be earned and betrayal can only reach you if your defenses are weak. Guarding this inner sanctum is the first act of power. Historical leaders who protected their councils, kept secrets, and maintained strict oversight of their inner circles understood that vulnerability begins within. In modern life, your thoughts, decisions, and emotions form the walls of your citadel. Strengthen them by controlling what enters and what you allow to influence your judgment. Be vigilant over the ideas and information you consume. Not every counsel is true. Not every opinion is loyal. Recognizing hidden enemies requires acute observation. Small behavioral shifts, subtle avoidance, or changes in tone often precede disloyalty. These signals are rarely loud. They whisper through gestures and words that seem insignificant. Track patterns over time. A colleague who suddenly interrupts or diminishes your contributions may not be merely competitive. They could be testing boundaries, probing for weaknesses. Interpret these signals strategically. Do not react emotionally. Measure, assess, and consider context before deciding how to act. Like a general surveying a battlefield, map the positions, strengths, and potential threats before making any move. Mastery over impulse is essential. Emotional reactions give betrayers an advantage. If anger, suspicion, or frustration dictates your response, you reveal openings that others can exploit. Historical accounts often show that rulers who lost composure under subtle attacks fell first. In your own sphere, when someone challenges your decision or questions your authority, respond with calm authority. A micro-example: during a team meeting, a member publicly disagreed with a strategic choice. Instead of reacting defensively, you acknowledged their point, clarified your reasoning, and subtly reinforced your expertise. The team observed, respect increased, and disloyalty had no purchase. Fortify your cognitive throne through discipline and reflection. Structure your routines to reduce distractions, preserve focus, and create mental resilience. Daily observation of patterns in behavior, both your own and others, builds anticipation skills. Test loyalty quietly, assess intentions without confrontation, and maintain emotional equilibrium. Your inner fortress becomes untouchable when perception is sharp, analysis deliberate, and composure unwavering. Weak, be aware of betrayal. Strong, command your perception, betray nothing to chance. Weak, watch people closely. Strong, scan every gesture, map every move, anticipate every shift. The cost of neglect is high. Failing to secure your inner citadel allows subtle betrayal to escalate into real damage, loss of influence, erosion of authority, and diminished respect. Protect your throne by commanding your thoughts, observing without prejudice, and responding with precision. Let every encounter, every interaction, every decision reinforce the strength of your internal domain. Stand as a ruler within your own mind. Let no whisper of treachery penetrate. Your vigilance is armor, your calm is a weapon, and your clarity is dominion. Your mind reigns, betrayal falls. The morning is a battlefield where the first moves set the tone for every interaction that follows. Each day begins with an invisible skirmish, a silent contest for focus, clarity, and control. Those who seize the early hours gain a psychological advantage, positioning themselves ahead of potential threats before they even emerge. First light is not merely a start, It is an opportunity to claim dominion over your mind, your energy, and your environment. Discipline transforms the ordinary into strategy. A consistent morning routine mirrors the structure of a military campaign: reconnaissance, preparation, and allocation of resources, all executed with precision. First light offers the first advantage. Begin each day with intentionality, prioritizing tasks that fortify your mental citadel. Planning, reflection, and focused effort in these early hours establish momentum and assert control over the day before others impose theirs. Historical leaders often rose before dawn, using the quiet hours to plan and anticipate challenges, recognizing that timing confers power. In practical terms, review your goals, assess ongoing commitments, and mentally rehearse scenarios where loyalty or disloyalty may arise. Seize these hours to sharpen perception and reinforce self-discipline. The quiet reconnaissance of morning allows you to observe subtle social cues that reveal intention. Notice posture, tone, and patterns in communication. Early interactions often expose inconsistencies, hesitation, or overeagerness that may indicate opportunistic tendencies. Observe without immediate judgment. Collect data silently. For instance, if a colleague seems unusually agreeable during a morning briefing, yet later circumvents collaboration, the discrepancy is a warning. Use this knowledge to adjust your approach, set boundaries, and preempt potential disruption. Weak. Watch everyone closely. Strong. Scan every gesture. Record each shift. Anticipate hidden moves. Energy acts as armor against manipulation. Protect your focus as a general shields a fort. Distractions, emotional volatility, and fatigue weaken your defenses. Avoid engaging in reactive debates or draining conversations until you have established control over your internal state. Consume nourishing inputs, deliberate planning, measured exercise, and mental preparation. Your stamina, clarity, and composure become tools that repel subtle attacks, maintain authority, and preserve discernment. A brief moment of meditation or structured reflection can fortify resolve, enabling decisive, informed action rather than impulsive reaction. Command the first hours of each day. Set your priorities with military precision. Map the terrain of tasks and relationships, assessing where loyalty is strong, where hesitation exists, and where potential disloyalty may emerge. Approach interactions with calm authority. When a minor disagreement arises, such as a team member questioning your choice, respond with clarity and measured explanation, demonstrating competence without unnecessary conflict. Your consistency signals strength, deterring subtle challenges. Morning mastery cultivates readiness. The disciplined start, the observant eye, and the protected energy transform potential vulnerabilities into controlled opportunities. You move first, see first, and respond first. Let every sunrise reinforce vigilance, clarity, and strategic positioning. Stand at the helm of your day, anticipating threats before they manifest. The early hours are not passive. They are a declaration of intent, a silent assertion that you command the battlefield before it begins. Seize the day, the battlefield awaits. Stillness is a weapon that few recognize, yet many underestimate. In the chaos of interaction, remaining motionless, silent, and observant grants you control that words and action alone cannot achieve. Like predators in nature, those who strike with precision do so after patient observation, waiting for the perfect moment to act. This predator's pause is not indecision, it is strategy. Humans operate similarly. Those who act without observing first risk exposing themselves to betrayal, misjudgment, or manipulation. Pause, watch, and measure the terrain before committing. Your restraint forces others to reveal intent, to expose fissures in loyalty. Silence becomes a signal. By withholding immediate reaction, you gather data, observe tone, expression, and choice of words in every interaction. Small hesitations, overcompensation, or avoidance often betray hidden motives. Many successful leaders and negotiators use this quiet observation to understand true allegiance before responding. Do not confuse this with passivity. Stillness is active power. While others fill silence with noise, you let observation sharpen insight. For example, when a team member challenges a plan publicly, remaining composed allows you to notice micro-expressions, subtle cues, and timing that reveal whether the disagreement is genuine or a probe. Respond later with clarity, reinforcing authority without escalation. Composure under fire amplifies control. Emotional reaction gives others an advantage. Calm response projects confidence and command. Intense interactions, maintaining poise signals that you are unshakable. Your restraint transforms the battlefield into a stage where your presence dominates without overt aggression. Weak. Stay calm when attacked. Strong. Let composure dictate every response, turning potential threats into predictable variables. Weak. Don't react impulsively. Strong. Observe, calculate, and act deliberately. Silence sharpens the strike. Apply stillness as both shield and blade. Use patience to expose vulnerability in others, while strengthening your own position. Each moment of quiet reinforces observation, measurement, and anticipation. Map intentions, track inconsistencies, and discern opportunity. By mastering your inner pause, you create a strategic advantage that is both defensive and offensive. Your presence becomes commanding, your decisions precise. Those who reveal intent first surrender power. Those who rush into action surrender control. Let your stillness dictate the pace, guide the engagement, and reveal the unspoken. Every interaction becomes a calculated field when approached with this mindset. Observe, anticipate, and act with certainty, not haste. Allow silence to draw out truth, patience to reveal motives, and composure to assert dominance. Let betrayal surface on its own, then strike with decisive clarity. Master the pause, and you control the battlefield before it even begins. Stillness commands, the betrayer falters. Betrayal left unchecked grows like poison in the veins of a kingdom, weakening authority and eroding trust. Hesitation allows disloyalty to fester, spreading through alliances and subtly undermining your influence. Ruthless elimination is not cruelty, it is strategy. Identify threats early, assess their potential damage, and act decisively. Historical examples abound. Rulers who delayed confronting treachery, whether within courts or military ranks, often suffered catastrophic consequences. Swift action signals strength, deters opportunists, and preserves long-term dominance. The battlefield is not only external, the arena of relationships requires vigilance, judgment, and courage. Cutting the poison early is essential. Recognize toxic behaviors, disloyal intentions, or corrosive influences before they destabilize your domain. Observation, pattern recognition, and disciplined assessment reveal these threats long before they act openly. Remove them strategically and with precision. A delay, even one day, can allow resentment, envy, or ambition to metastasize, turning minor discontent into full-scale betrayal. Weak. Watch for trouble. Strong. Identify corrosive influence, neutralize it decisively. Weak. Don't let toxicity spread. Strong. Act swiftly before erosion begins. Machiavelli's principle of swift justice reinforces authority. Leaders who respond promptly to betrayal communicate that disloyalty carries consequences. Timely action deters future attempts, establishes clear boundaries, and commands respect. Your response need not be vengeful. It must be calculated, firm, and unmistakable. Authority thrives where consequences are predictable and just. For example, when a team member consistently undermines decisions or spreads misinformation, confronting and addressing the issue quickly demonstrates control while maintaining fairness. Your decisiveness preserves credibility and deters further disruption. Sacrifice for survival is a necessary component. Strategic elimination often requires short-term discomfort, strained relationships, temporary tension, or difficult conversations, but secures long-term stability. Historical leaders frequently endured personal or political loss to remove threats, understanding that the cost of inaction far exceeded temporary discomfort. Accepting this principle allows you to prioritize the durability of your domain over momentary convenience. Weak. It's hard to confront someone. Strong. Face the disruption head-on to preserve control. Weak. Sacrifice relationships carefully. Strong. Endanger nothing that compromises your throne. Act strategically. Command your domain with clarity and resolve. Map potential threats. Anticipate moves and intervene with precision. Every act of decisive removal strengthens your authority, reinforces loyalty, and eliminates ambiguity. Betrayal thrives in hesitation and thrives where signals of tolerance are misread. Act with speed, focus, and intelligence. Let observation guide elimination, let discipline guide action, and let composure guide judgment. Those who master ruthless elimination preserve their influence, fortify their internal and external kingdoms, and signal that the throne is untouchable. Strike swiftly. Loyalty endures. Authority is a mask, a deliberate projection of calm, intelligence, and power designed to keep potential betrayers uncertain. Your demeanor is the armor that conceals vulnerabilities and signals control without aggression. Invisible armor shields your thoughts, emotions, and intentions from observation. By managing expression, tone, and reaction, you prevent others from exploiting weakness or predicting strategy. This psychological fortification allows you to maintain dominance in social and professional arenas. Like a commander surveying a battlefield, your presence must appear unwavering while your mind processes every variable, every shift, and every hidden agenda. Command without tyranny is the heart of influence. Restraint communicates strength. Overreaction signals insecurity. Those who wield authority calmly command respect, whereas those who act impulsively provoke rebellion and invite scrutiny. In interactions, maintain measured responses. For instance, when a subordinate challenges a decision, respond with clarity, explanation, and composure, demonstrating authority without intimidation. Your restraint becomes a silent declaration that you control both the environment and yourself. Weak. Don't lose your temper. Strong. Let controlled composure dictate every move. Weak. Assert yourself carefully. Strong. Project calm authority that preempts challenge. Strategic persona shifts further solidify the mask of command. Adapt your demeanor to context, testing loyalty and assessing intentions. In some situations, subtle warmth may encourage openness, while measured distance reinforces boundaries and tests allegiance. Observing how others respond to these shifts reveals patterns of Yoeli and hidden motives. The ability to modulate your persona without compromising authenticity creates uncertainty in potential betrayers, forcing them to reveal intentions while maintaining your strategic advantage. Each shift is a chess move, revealing the positions of allies and potential threats without unnecessary confrontation. Use your mask to control perception. Shield vulnerability, exercise restraint, and adapt presentation to suit the environment. Your authority is performative in the sense that it must be consistent, deliberate, and strategically deployed. Those who underestimate the power of composed presentation risk misinterpretation, challenge, or erosion of influence. Maintain observation, record behavioral patterns, and act decisively when loyalty is tested. The mask is not deception, it is the careful alignment of presence, insight, and action to preserve dominance while minimizing exposure. Mastering the mask of command requires constant awareness and disciplined application. Maintain invisible armor over your inner thoughts. Exercise restraint to reinforce authority and adjust persona strategically to gather intelligence. Let every interaction, every display of calm, and every calculated shift in demeanor signal power without provocation. By projecting control while observing others, you compel loyalty, deter betrayal, and maintain dominion over your domain. Your presence becomes both shield and sword, a silent yet unmistakable assertion of command. Command is the mask, control is the throne. Your mind must become a precise instrument, an internal assassin capable of neutralizing threats before they surface. Mental precision is the first rule. Analyze potential betrayal with calculation, not emotion. Every observation, every inconsistency, every subtle signal becomes a target for assessment. Reacting impulsively hands initiative to others. Preemptive analysis ensures you remain several moves ahead. Consider your mind as a sharpened blade, honed by reflection, discipline, and strategic foresight. Each decision, each interaction is assessed for hidden motives, patterns, and potential fractures in loyalty. Silent strikes are the hallmark of internal mastery. You do not announce your moves. Subtle interventions prevent minor issues from escalating into larger conflicts. Adjust influence quietly, redirect conversations, or clarify expectations without confrontation. In professional or social environments, a timely, discreet correction can prevent betrayal from gaining momentum. For example, subtly restructuring a project team to balance influence or clarifying responsibilities can neutralize opportunism before it becomes problematic. Weak, stop the problem openly. Strong, redirect influence silently and decisively. Weak, intervene immediately. Strong, strike with subtlety, ensure stability without spectacle. Shadow awareness trains perception to detect hidden agendas. Observe body language, tone shifts, and behavioral deviations. Your awareness must extend beyond words to patterns, timing, and inconsistencies. Noticing small anomalies allows you to anticipate disloyalty and plan response. Like a predator in the shadows, you watch, evaluate, and prepare without exposing intent. The ability to read these signals transforms intuition into strategy, enabling you to act decisively when necessary while remaining undetected. Integrate mental precision, silent strikes, and shadow awareness into a cohesive internal system. Analyze, anticipate, and act with discretion. Let every decision, interaction, and observation feed your internal map of loyalty and risk. Your internal assassin neutralizes threats before they escalate, transforming vigilance into dominance. By mastering subtlety, patience, and precision, you convert potential vulnerability into a fortified position. Your internal assassin is not a figure of aggression, but of control. Discipline your mind to strike with accuracy, intervene without spectacle, and detect deception before it becomes action. Every calculated thought, every subtle adjustment, every measured observation reinforces authority and preserves stability. Through this mastery, betrayal finds no purchase, and your command becomes unassailable. Strike within, control without. Human nature is a battlefield, and understanding its duality grants the commander an unmatched advantage. Desire drives action, loyalty, and betrayal alike. Leaders throughout history, from emperors to generals, leveraged ambition and need to secure allegiance, ensuring that those around them acted in alignment with strategic goals. Observe who hungers for recognition, who seeks influence, and who covets reward. This awareness allows you to shape behavior, turning innate human cravings into instruments of stability and control. Your role is to feed the wolf of loyalty while starving disloyalty of sustenance. Reward the loyal and ignore the weak. Recognition, privileges, and trust are not indulgences. They are calculated reinforcement of allegiance. Those who demonstrate commitment and reliability thrive, while opportunists or passive actors remain on the periphery. Historical examples abound. Monarchs who elevated loyal advisors, generals who promoted dependable lieutenants, and leaders who carefully distributed resources to those who earned them, consolidating power while minimizing internal threats. Weak. Be nice to loyal people. Strong. Empower and elevate those who serve your vision, marginalize the unworthy. Weak. Ignore troublemakers. Strong. Deny attention to the weak. Let loyalty guide reward. Psychological leverage transforms perceived generosity into strategic advantage. The gifts you bestow, the opportunities you provide, and the recognition you offer are tools to reinforce patterns of loyalty. When applied with precision, these actions shape expectations and behavior, compelling allegiance without coercion. For example, a manager offering selective mentorship strengthens the commitment of key performers while subtly revealing who may act opportunistically. Strategic generosity signals intelligence, foresight, and control, influencing others to act in alignment with your objectives without overt pressure. Feed loyalty consistently, but remain vigilant. Observe responses to rewards, monitor shifts in attitude, and adjust reinforcement to ensure the inner circle remains strong. Let every action complement and allocation of resources serve a purpose. Those who betray or show ambition contrary to the collective goal find themselves gradually marginalized, deprived of influence, and revealed as threats. Like a predator calibrating the feeding of its pack, you nurture strength and starve weakness, preserving the integrity of your domain. Master the balance between reward and denial. Use desire to secure loyalty, reinforce alignment through action, and convert generosity into leverage. Feeding the wolf is not indulgence, it is a calculated strategy. Every reward is a chess move, every withheld opportunity a signal, and every observation an insight into intent. By shaping human desire, you fortify your influence, control internal dynamics, and leave betrayal without sustenance or cover. Feed loyalty, starve betrayal. Life unfolds like a chessboard, each interaction, decision, and alliance, a move revealing intent. Predictive thinking is essential. Study past patterns, both historical and personal, to anticipate betrayal before it manifests. Leaders who mastered foresight understood that human behavior follows discernible rhythms. Observe who shifts when stakes rise, who maneuvers subtly for advantage, and who maintains consistency under pressure. Recognizing these patterns equips you to predict potential threats, placing you several moves ahead of disloyal actors. Sacrifice and positioning are critical. Just as in chess, pawns may be risked to protect higher value pieces, and relationships may require calculated distance to maintain authority. Sometimes enduring minor discomfort preserves long-term control. Other times, temporarily empowering a trusted ally secures stability. Historical leaders understood the necessity of measured risk, shielding loyal supporters while monitoring the ambitions of others. Weak. Avoid all conflict. Strong. Sacrifice strategically to protect the throne and ensure your network remains resilient. Weak, hold everyone close. Strong, position relationships to reveal intent and safeguard power. Strategic alliances amplify influence and protect your domain. Cultivate networks that reinforce loyalty while exposing hidden threats. Allies provide both intelligence and deterrence. Their presence signals strength and discourages opportunists. Align with those whose incentives naturally support your objectives, while maintaining the freedom to adjust allegiances as circumstances evolve. Observe subtle interactions within these networks, noting who aligns genuinely versus opportunistically. For example, a confidant who consistently prioritizes collective goals strengthens your position, whereas one who diverts resources for personal gain signals risk. Integrate predictive thinking, strategic sacrifice, and carefully forged alliances into a coherent system. Anticipate disloyalty through observation, position relationships to your advantage, and cultivate networks that both support and reveal intention. Each move is a calculation, each interaction an opportunity to secure your domain. Life's chessboard rewards foresight and punishes inattention. Understanding the patterns of human behavior transforms potential vulnerabilities into strategic assets. Command your actions with discipline, measure every move, and treat alliances as both shields and mirrors revealing intent. Let foresight guide decisions. Positioning protects your authority, and alliances reinforce loyalty. By mastering the chessboard of life, you anticipate threats, neutralize risk, and maintain unassailable control over your domain. Every move reveals intent. Play with precision. Forge your mind each morning as if it were a citadel, each routine a battlement reinforcing your defenses. Routines are fortresses, not constraints. Structured habits shield against manipulation, distraction, and the subtle encroachments of disloyal actors. Begin with deliberate scheduling. Wake, move, and act with intention. Observe how energy flows, how attention falters, and adjust your day to strengthen focus. Historical and modern leaders alike relied on disciplined patterns to maintain clarity under pressure, understanding that chaos favors the opportunist. Weak, do your best each day. Strong, command your morning to command your mind. Mental conditioning transforms thought into weaponry. Practice patience in decisions, training observation to notice subtle shifts in demeanor, tone, and body language. Strategically challenge your assumptions, run through scenarios in which loyalty or betrayal could arise, and analyze responses objectively. By repeatedly rehearsing these cognitive drills, you cultivate the capacity to respond without impulse, converting instinct into calculated foresight. In one scenario, a team member challenged a protocol. Instead of reacting, you paused, assessed intent, and calmly reinforced authority. The measured response neutralized conflict while maintaining respect. Testing loyalty internally is as critical as defending external territory. Simulate pressure situations, imagining how you and those around you might respond. Identify patterns in your own reactions, where impatience, pride, or fear could erode judgment. Observe colleagues or confidants in hypothetical stress, noting consistency, integrity, and reliability. Reward patterns of trust and recalibrate interactions where signals suggest potential instability. Each mental rehearsal sharpens discernment, building an internal radar attuned to nuance, timing, and intent. Integrate structured routines, disciplined mental exercises, and scenario-based testing into daily practice. Your mind becomes a fortress, resistant to manipulation, resilient under scrutiny, and proactive in detecting disloyalty. Treat every thought, habit, and observation as an opportunity to reinforce this iron will. Command your day, condition your mind, and test your inner circle with rigor. Discipline fortifies the mind. The unbreakable are never betrayed. Command respect without uttering a threat, for true authority radiates invisibly and touches all who approach. Invisible authority is forged through consistency, mastery of craft, and presence that requires no constant enforcement. Historical figures like Frederick the Great or Queen Elizabeth I maintained control not by micromanagement but by cultivating reputations that preceded them, signaling competence, decisiveness, and unwavering standards. Weak. Try to be respected. Strong. Exude authority without demanding it. Every action, every choice broadcasts a message. Loyalty is recognized. Incompetence or disloyalty is tolerated only briefly. Strategic isolation sharpens focus and safeguards your domain. Surround only yourself with proven allies, individuals whose reliability and integrity have been observed under pressure. This is not exclusion for its own sake. It is preservation of strength. In practice, carefully vet collaborators and confidants, noting consistency between promises and action. Limit access to sensitive information to those whose allegiance is unquestionable. A colleague attempted subtle undermining during a project review, but because the inner circle was composed of loyal, competent participants, the threat dissipated without confrontation. The final shield is your psychological reputation. Cultivate an image of precision, decisiveness, and measured judgment. Actions speak louder than words. Punctuality, follow-through, and calm decisiveness communicate that attempts at betrayal will meet swift but calculated consequences. Your mental framework becomes a deterrent, signaling to potential betrayers that attempts at disruption are futile. Monitor interactions, reward loyalty, and maintain composure under provocation. This reputation, reinforced daily, makes betrayal unlikely to gain traction, rendering you untouchable not through fear alone, but through respect, observation, and strategic positioning. Integrate invisible authority, strategic isolation, and psychological deterrence into a unified approach. Each component strengthens the other. Mastery fuels respect, loyalty fortifies security, and reputation deters threats. Command presence, choose associates wisely, and cultivate a reputation that preempts disloyalty before it surfaces. Untouchable minds repel betrayal before it breathes. Claim your mind as a fortress, for only by ruling yourself can you repel betrayal before it approaches. Integrated mastery fuses observation, discipline, and decisive action into a seamless strategy that operates as instinct. Begin each day with deliberate routines that sharpen focus, then scan your environment as a general surveys the battlefield, noting potential threats, allies, and subtle shifts in behavior. Mental fortitude demands repeated exercise. Patience, anticipation, and clarity become tools, transforming hesitation into precision. Weak, try to be vigilant. Strong, remain alert and act decisively. Every choice reinforces your psychological perimeter, signaling that intrusion will meet a calculated response. Psychological sovereignty transforms internal strength into external deterrence. When your composure and judgment are visible and consistent, attempts at undermining lose effect. Cultivate calm decisiveness. Allow no visible agitation to reveal opportunity. Surround yourself with proven allies, yet avoid dependence on numbers alone. Trustworthiness outweighs quantity. A colleague challenged your decision publicly, attempting subtle discreditation, but your unwavering calm and factual framing neutralized disruption and reinforced authority. Use perception deliberately. Let your reputation precede you as a shield, preemptively discouraging betrayal through presence alone. Eternal vigilance converts fear into fuel for dominance. Anticipate patterns of disloyalty through historical awareness and personal observation. Predict moves as a chess master foresees multiple turns ahead, positioning yourself to mitigate risk before it emerges. Strategic pauses, silent observation, and mental rehearsal fortify readiness, reward loyalty promptly and consistently, while allowing weakness or deception no foothold. This continuous feedback loop strengthens your domain, heightening confidence and deterring opportunism. Weak, hope people are loyal. Strong, train perception to expose disloyalty instantly. Your throne is not built of walls or weapons, but of integrated mastery, sovereign presence, and unwavering vigilance. Maintain daily rituals, exercise discernment, and act decisively. Observe without obsession, engage without emotion, and command without coercion. Each moment of discipline strengthens the psychological fortress, making betrayal irrelevant before it manifests. Awareness becomes instinct, instinct becomes action, and action secures dominion over both mind and circumstance. Align attention, energy, and choice into a single current of authority that flows through every interaction and decision. Rule yourself, and no betrayal can touch you. Claim your mental throne daily, for mastery is earned through repetition, not chance. Begin each morning by observing yourself and your environment with precise attention, noting shifts in mood, intention, and opportunity. Structure your routines as armor, reinforcing discipline and sharpening perception so that vigilance becomes instinct. Weak. Try to stay aware. Strong. Scan and catalog every signal. This daily throne practice transforms ordinary action into deliberate strategy, making observation a tool of control rather than reaction. Command with respect, balancing authority and empathy, for influence depends on presence and consistency. Engage decisively but without aggression, demonstrating that your power lies in composure and clarity, not coercion. When disagreement arises, respond with calm facts, neutralizing disruption while maintaining hierarchy. Allow allies to feel seen, yet ensure no one perceives weakness. Your restraint signals strength. Surround yourself with loyalty, but trust must be earned, monitored, and reinforced. Every interaction becomes a measure of allegiance, every pause a test of commitment. Internalize these strategies to reach psychological sovereignty. Anticipate disloyalty without obsession, reward fidelity without indulgence, and let your disciplined mind govern without external interference. Each practiced decision, each calculated observation, strengthens the unassailable domain within you. Your thoughts, actions, and presence converge into a singular command over circumstance. Habit, vigilance, and measured influence combine to render betrayal impotent. This is not domination of others, but mastery over yourself and the currents around you. Your throne commands, betrayal falls.